May and Philip Hammond should give £2,000 to every single person in Britain right now. I mean, like right now, I would say most people in Britain think of them as sort of like generally evil, but in a dull way. You know, like if Coldplay put Darth Vader on lead vocals.
Look at the stars. Look how they shine for you.
Yeah, or you know, if they remade Lost in Translation with Daleks. This would really change that. And I know it sounds like a radical idea, but isn't politics crying out for radical ideas? Isn't that what Brexit and Trump were all about? Change! We just want change! Any old change! Shit on my breakfast! Yay! Brilliant! It's change, isn't it? It's better than bran flakes. The upsides are huge, right? Like, firstly, you'd have £2,000. Like, £2,000 cash in your pocket. Woohoo! And, you know, if you're Richard Branson, you could use the money to sort of dab the ink dry on your signature on the contract to buy vital NHS services. If you're a nice sort of ordinary person who's not broke, you could give some or all of it to charity. Lots of people would. You could spend it having an awesome family Winterval. Yes, I said it, fuck you. Still putting the win in Winterval. It's enough for a deposit and a few months' rent on a flat or a room in shared accommodation, so it would massively reduce homelessness. Struggling parents could spend it on childcare while they did training or looked for a better job. It's enough to start a small home business. It's enough for the elderly to fit a stair lift rather than having to move. The Queen could get some IKEA carpets and scented candles to impress foreign dignitaries. It would put everyone 2 steps ahead, give them a chance at a fresh start. And even if some people spent the money on booze and takeaway pizza, at least that money would be going straight into the economy. Because giving money to people who need it has a bigger impact than dishing out tax breaks for fat cats who already have loads of money. If only someone intelligent had been on the UK's most respected political discussion show and articulated this point elegantly a few years ago. I just think that people who claim to understand about economics are missing one really, really important point here, which is that what happens when you allow the wealthy to have a bit more money? Well, they put it in the bank with the other money that they've already got. If we've learnt one thing from watching Benefit Street, it's that people at the very, very poorest level of our society will stay up until midnight when the benefits are paid to get hold of them, because that's how urgently they need to get hold of the money. They spend the money within half an hour of getting it. If we want to get our economy moving, injecting more money at the top, where it just goes into savings, does nothing. We need to inject money at the bottom where people need it and they'll spend it and put it straight back into our economy. And I know some of you are thinking, well, sure, I'd like £2,000, but there must be a downside to this. I mean, like, wouldn't it cost, like £122 billion or something? Yeah, I mean, I sure hope this crazy left-wing ideologue isn't going to suggest scrapping Trident, because I have a really warm, fuzzy feeling about the idea that we could vaporise millions of innocent civilians around the world at a moment's notice if their tyrannical leaders that they don't like either pissed us off. Well, good news. Doesn't matter. In his autumn statement, Chancellor Philip Hammond announced that we have revised down our estimates of government finances for 2020 by 122 billion, and he then described the UK economy as resilient. So obviously, the odd 120-something billion isn't really a big deal. They have basically lost that down the back of Boris Johnson's snow leopard Brexit chaise longue, and it's not important. So who doesn't want £2,000? Yeah, and bearing in mind that I am trying to get you £2,000 in ready cash, maybe you could spare $1 to sponsor my videos on Patreon?